We are
now in session.
Special episode. This video may be coming out for New Year's, so happy New Year's to everybody. Really appreciate y'all still staying with us till 2024. So welcome to the Now in Session family. If you're new to our channel, welcome. For our followers, we appreciate and love your support. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube for our latest notification, and then the updates on our video as well. And we got a special conversation going on to start 2023, and we really wanted to highlight 40 years of existence. So today we want to kind of just talk about what we have learned in the last 40 years. For some of us who are 40 already, except for me, I'm not 40 yet, but we want to take a moment to really dive deeper at what that looks like, and
he's calling me out.
This is also a moment where we get to ask each other questions and also highlight some of those things and have a deeper conversation on what each year or some amazing important things happen or the sad moments, down moments. So this will be a cool, very interesting conversation. So I can't wait to chat with these guys.
Definitely, man. We do want to touch base on all the lessons that we have learned. Some of the important lessons that we have learned throughout our lives. And whether we learn it from our parents, from our friends, from our lover, from our
life experience.
Yeah, life experience, from our bullies, like what did we learn? What lessons do we carry out through our lives, and so we want to touch base on some of these things, and hopefully these lessons will do you guys some good, and maybe you guys need to hear it, so but really starting off, the lessons that I've learned the most was pretty much our reality, our perception. People's perception differs between everyone's reality, so that was one of the major things that I have learned. And I think that I changed from a perception reality into a perspective reality. So I see things from a different perspective instead of my own perspective, reality, if that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah.
So,
because perception is reality.
Right.
Because you might think that you're one type of person.
Right.
And the people around you might think you're the opposite of what you think.
People's perception is their reality.
Right, because you are different versions of yourself within everyone else. So if 100 people, 100 versions of you exist. The one that you think you are is probably not. It's probably correct, but maybe you think of yourself as a nice guy. Maybe another guy thinks of you as an asshole. So it's different perspective, and I learned that in order to pull yourself out, you see the reality for what it is.
Yeah. When did you realize that, Toby? At what age when you started to think, damn, I'm actually understanding a little bit more about perception?
Damn, I want to say like my late 20s.
Yeah.
My late 20s.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty early.
Yeah,
was when I realized that the truth of reality isn't what I think it is. Because when I see my reality, it's my feelings that's involved with it. It's my bias, my opinion that goes along with it, right? But the truth of the matter is, it's not the correct one. It's the real reality and how I spin it.
Yeah.
And so when I communicate with different people, they have different perceptions, and I can't get mad at them. It actually made me more understanding of people,
more aware too
of how people see things. And you can't get mad at people for thinking certain ways, because that's all they know. So, but that is my lesson that I learned. What about you guys?
Charlie, what about you?
Okay, I like that. You just throw it to me. Okay, so because I was gonna add on to what Toby was saying. There's 3 versions of yourself. One, the one that you think you are, the one that people see and how you are, and the one that you wish you were. So there's a lot of time where you act a certain way and think a certain way, and you think you're this person, but the reality is people see you a different person.
Yeah.
And then this person that you want to be like, and you try to act like that person, but it just sometimes it doesn't correlate.
Yeah.
And,
well, no. To piggyback off you said, I think that when we strive to be authentic in our own energies, right, and strive to be who we are at our core, and not strive to be what anybody else see us, right? And if we give off that authentic energy, I think everybody will see it for what it is, and still doesn't change though, right?
Also, I mean, things are up for interpretation because what you do with your intention, sometimes people interpret a whole different way.
Right.
So like with a group of friends, you might say something and it's funny. But when you say it to like somebody that don't know you or not used to this type of joke or environment, they might think you're an asshole.
Yeah, or offensive.
Right, or offensive, because they don't get your humor.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, one of the many lessons I've learned in my age is really, if you work hard for what you want, things will happen. Things will come into fruition. And I do believe it because the last 40 years, I've worked hard, but also there's moments where I was a little lazy. There's moments where I lost a lot of things in life. And when you work hard, you overcome some of those things.
Yeah.
You know, and people can never take hard work away from you. You know, so I've learned that no matter when you're down at the lowest, when you don't have any money, or when you were broke, or you just didn't have anything, if you just work harder than the next person, you could get where you want to be in life, you know? And I think I'm the living proof of that because there's moments where I didn't have a lot, you know, and I wasn't the brightest kid in school. I didn't have the academics like everybody else did, but I was very clever. I tried to figure things out, but if you put me next to somebody, I would outwork them because that's my competitive nature. I wanted to make sure that out of this room, I'll be the hardest working person in this room, and I want to get where I'm at because if anything happens, they can never take hard work away from me.
Yeah.
So that was one life lessons I learned, you know, in the last 3-4 decades of my time. And that message I want to take on to my kids or my nephews, whoever, you know, because nobody can outwork you. If you did it, then you are above everybody else. And no, I'm not saying nobody else is better than me, but they got to work hard as well to get where they're at. But
elaborate a little bit more on that because it not necessarily just working hard. There's other stuff to do besides working hard that it's a combination or a culmination of the package.
Yeah, what I mean working hard is finding your niche, being very clever, finding your training, finding your resource, right? Like I said, I was never the brightest kid in academics, but I read policies, right? Let's say my line of work. I was always the one that knew more about policies and things I need to get, you know, and learn. Also going to school, meaning working harder than others, right? If I knew that a bachelor or associate wasn't going to give me the leadership or job opportunities that I wanted to be at as a Lao American, I would try to do my best to upbeat that, you know, and get my master's or get my doctorate degree so that I could be better than the next person next to me, you know? So it's just not working hard. Is to elaborate on that, Toby, is more of where do I fix my craft to get where I need to be?
Yeah. Making the right choices.
Right. Is it school? Is it the physical work? Is it the mental work? Right. All that stuff. So those are things that I had to decipher and kind of figure out. How do I manage that? How do I leverage that? How do I balance that? So that way I could be where I want to be. And then people could see that, damn, this dude went from, you know, this, now he's this. That's pretty dope. You know, he grind really, really hard, you know, and the hard work always shows, man. And that's what I learned because I've seen people don't work at all, you know, and they have degrees and everything and they're still stuck in the mud. And I'm like, so you telling me, not saying $20 is bad. Money is money. Work is work. It's great.
Yeah.
But if you're not hitting that ceiling and you're stuck at $20 when you have a master's degree, you're doing something wrong. Then you're not working as hard as the next guy because the next guy got the same degree as you and he's making triple that amount, you know, or he's starting a business or whatever.
Well, I think that working hard is one thing, but applying yourself and selling yourself
for sure
is the other part of the equation. For
sure,
right?
For sure.
You could be the hardest working guy, girl out there, but if you don't know how to sell yourself, your skill set, yourself to these companies, they're not going to see your value.
For sure.
You know, you got to be able to go out there and say, hey, you know what? my name is Toby. I could do this. Yep. This is what I could bring. This is the data I could bring. This is the amount of money I could bring to this company. This is what I could do as part of the team.
For sure.
And then also, you gotta know your value.
Yeah.
Because you can't let the other people dictate your value.
For sure.
You have to believe in your value and believe in yourself to go after it.
Yeah.
Because if the person that's working with you that don't see your value, you need to move. Yeah. You need to take the risk of failing somewhere else, because staying there, you're just gonna end up failing.
Yeah, yeah, and it goes back to what you want in life too. You know,
right.
If you had a favorite car that you wanted, I'll give you a perfect example. My car, I've always wanted that car since I was a kid.
That Honda Accord.
Yeah,
yeah,
the best car ever.
Yeah,
man.
Best car ever.
Still running.
If I wanted to do it, right, I've always learned also that fast money is not always good money.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
But if you work hard for it, you'll get what you want. So there's never no for me. Someone tells me no, I'm fucking upset, dude. I'm like very competitive. Yeah. What do you mean no? You think a loud kid can't buy that shit? I could buy that shit too, right? But I'm going to get to where I need to get, you know. I hope people are watching it has the same fight, same eagerness to get what they want in life, man. Because I'm never going to settle. I'm always going to reach the top of the ceiling. You know what I mean? I'm always looking for the next top ceiling. You know what I mean? And that goes back to working on your craft, like Toby shared, your skill sets, applying it, right? A lot of people have degrees, but they can't apply it. They just sit in the mud and you're stuck there, dude.
Yeah.
But apply it, learn. And that's what I learned about life, man. And it's a beautiful thing.
How about you, Charles? What one lessons can you think of from the top of your head?
Anything.
Bro, there's so many lessons.
I just pick one. You know, this session is about life lessons. So whatever life lessons we could give our viewers
in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one is I thought I knew a lot when I was younger. Now that I'm 40, I realize I don't know jack shit.
Yeah.
So back then, like I always thought I was smart. And I always feel like I'm one of the smartest guys in the room.
You were cocky, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he was cocky.
You put me down sometime.
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
you know, when he was younger,
in place.
Exactly.
You got to put your place.
No. When he was younger, he's smart.
Yeah.
But he would also bullshit at the same time.
Yes.
And I learned when I was younger, I was more naive, right? So I would believe everything Charles say.
Yeah.
I like, you know what, Charles, you're right. But then as soon as I mature and I read more, and I go, man, this guy is full of shit, you know?
Let me go.
Hold on, one more last before I add to that, Toby.
One more last.
Let me add to this. When we were going to school, right, this guy indirectly would tell me I'm dumb. That's even worse.
Yeah. I
would go to him, I'm like, hey, Charles, you studied for the test? All right, did it, dude. I got an A. How about you? I didn't. And then he was like, I was like, no, dude, I got a D, man. He goes, I got an A. I didn't even study. Come on, bro, man. Don't make me feel dumber, man. Come on, dude. I just told you I had a D. I didn't even study, bro. I passed. Every time. Every class that we had together, I didn't even study. Like, I got an A.
Hey,
Come on, bro.
Hey, D's for dumbass.
Yeah. Anyways, Charles. Share your thing, man.
So, epiphany.
Yeah.
I don't know as much as I thought I did. Because the older we get, I keep moving from different group to grow. So now I feel like I'm not the smartest one in the group. I'm probably one of the dumber ones. So I need to stay quiet and listen to learn. And whenever you feel like you're the smartest person in that group, it's time for you to find another group. Because otherwise you won't grow anymore.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to fail, because just like in golf, if you're going to suck fast. So, like, keep up with people. Bro, like, don't just say, oh, shit, I suck, I don't want to do it. No, go ahead and make your mistakes, fails fast, and, you know, keep on moving from your lessons and get to where you need to go. Even if, like, you're playing golf against somebody that's good, they probably get to that hole in 3 hits, and you might take 20. But we're going the same pace because I'm going much faster than he is.
Right.
Talking about golf again, huh?
Yeah. Golf is a life lesson, bro.
Damn.
Everything in life is life lessons.
Damn.
Oh, man. Where did you hear that before, Charles?
So you ever get a hole in one?
Huh? Not yet, but I got a hole in 20.
Life lessons.
Hey, but guess what? Who got a hole first? Me or the guy that took 2 hits?
Dang.
You know, the other lessons that I learned is, like, you always have to make time for the people in your life.
Oh, for sure.
You know, when
Sure.
when I was younger, man, I would always be chasing the money, chasing the paper, and I didn't have time. You know, I would always be opening businesses. I would always be, you know, doing different projects, and I didn't make time. And when I got older and I had my son, I was like, dang, I have to slow down and make time for the people that matters the most, because you have to have balance, you know. And some days, some people will regret not making times for the loved ones. And I've seen this. I've been to so many funerals that I seen people that cries, you know, and regrets not spending time with their loved ones.
Wish they had more time.
Wish they had more time. But that time that you used to acquire these material things, you should have kind of balanced it and break it apart, and then, you know, go and spend time with the people that matters, because time is a valuable commodity that we don't get back. So
you never get it back.
Right. You know, that's another life lesson that I learned.
And it was hard when you were younger, because you are fighting to provide for your family.
Yes.
So you had to chase money, because that's the only way you think that you could provide for your family is getting the money, pay for bills, be able to put a roof in over the head, and, you know, food in the belly. So you had to chase money. And then you're stuck at a job where the boss tells you, hey, we need you to stay longer. We need you to come in on this day. So you have to sacrifice time with your family. So it's hard to, figure out how to, you know, not go to work to spend time with your family. So that's why you always got to continue learning and build your skill sets. So that way you can find time for your family and still continue to make money.
Not only that, you have to make time, right? Like, you have to be intentional with the process. And, you know, even if it's like 10, 15 minutes, right? That you take time out of your day for your kids, your wife, your husband, you know, your brother, your sister, you know, like, I know some people that don't even call their parents.
Yeah.
One phone call, you know. I chill with a lot of OGs, and they tell me all the time, like, man, how come my kids don't call me and bullshit with me like you?
Like you do.
Right? And it's like, dude, like, what do you mean? Like, what did you say to your kids, you know? But they're off doing their own thing, and, you know, sometimes we realize it too late. So that's one lesson that I learned. So another lessons, I guess.
Yeah. I man, in my 20s, I did a lot of partying.
Right.
In my 30s, I worked a little harder. I worked on my craft, right? And for some of the viewers are probably thinking too, whatever age group you guys are in, like, I always learned that as you get older, it gets harder to get where you want to be. But it doesn't mean that it actually makes you a little bit smarter, because you're learning throughout your years. And I think that even for some of my peers, some of them started a little bit later, like in their late 30s, and they're struggling a little bit.
Yes.
You know, it's taking them a little bit longer to adapt to their new life or whatever. So in my 20s, I partied, but I still worked, but I didn't take it seriously. In my 30s, I worked on my craft, and this is where I feel that like for 5 years in my 30s, I grind so hard to get where I want to be, and that was the most beautiful moment in my time. You know, not saying everybody's the same, because some people could do it so differently, you know. Yeah. But I also noticed that what I learned from that piece is that if I started later, I would be struggling a little bit to where I'm at today.
Yeah. But when you started, when you had to grind, did you go into solitude? Did you kind of cut everything off and just focus on yourself?
Yeah, I cut a lot. I focused on myself, and it's okay to do that, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be alone for that period. I was alone for almost 4 years. Yeah. Meaning I didn't talk to my close friends. I focused on my craft. I focused on things. I met new people. Yeah. Charles talks about it, meeting new people along the way to grow. That's basically what I did. Yeah. But I was very, like I said, my working hard was figuring out new techniques, new things, right? Getting creative in the space. And again, because sometimes when you're in your bubble or circle of friends who are not growing with you, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard, right? I'm the only one going to school. Everybody else is doing something else. Right. I'm not saying school is everything, but I was in a different mindset. Right. You know, and so if your peers are not going with you, then it's hard, because you're kind of running by yourself and you're not having the same conversation. So it could be very, very challenging. It could be to the point where you have to let yourself go and be in your own space. And that's basically what I did for 4 or 5 years.
I think every successful people goes through that period.
For sure.
Where they have to isolate themselves and focus on themselves and their craft and kind of mentally prepare themselves, like letting go of the things that they're used to. And then getting used to the things that they need to go to.
Old habits, new habits.
Right. And I think that's a period of isolation that everyone goes through and kind of have to rethink which way they need to go. Are they going to stay in the past? Or are they going to have to evolve and grow? Because when you evolve, those people can't go with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, our friends, our homies, and a lot of our peers don't understand that.
Yeah.
And those people that do take the journey, like I know Charles took it, I took it, you took it, that, there's going to be other people that is going to meet you at a different level and become the new people that support you.
For sure.
Yeah, because to me, when you're taking that journey, you only by yourself for a short period of time because the group that you're with, they're not taking that journey with you.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that journey, you'll eventually find people that's on the same path.
Right.
And then you'll build your little bubble or circle again. So, I mean, if you're lucky, the group of friends you started with, 1 or 2 maybe go on the same journey with you.
Right.
And now that's for the, fortunate people. But LeBron, he brought his friend, what's his name? Rich
Carter.
Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marvin
Rich
Carter.
Paul,
so they went on
Marvin
the same
Carter.
journey with them.
Yeah.
And then there's people like MC Hammer, where he tried to bring his friends on the same journey, but they weren't the same mindset.
Right.
So they end up making him go broke.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with the people that goes on your journey with you.
Yeah, because you end up taking care of everyone, right? And not everyone is there to support you in your journey, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's there to eat with you and see the wins, right? And celebrate you. But when you're going through the struggle, no one is cheering for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a hard lesson we all learn.
Yeah. So there'll be down moments.
Right.
I'll disclose me like there's moments where I struggle with alcohol for a short period,
Yes.
Even minor substance stuff, but I'll be the first to admit I was never perfect, but I went through life lessons, man, and I think at that moment it taught me a lot, and not everybody lives that straight, narrow, fine line, and what I've learned about life is that you could get kicked off the road, multiple times, and then it's up to you to come back to it. Yeah. Some people fall behind and they go on the dirt road and this unpaving road, and they don't know how to get back. And I think when you fight through adversity, when people go through adversity, this is the moment where they get better and they find this new road and path and they create it and they meet the same destination where they're supposed to be at, And I think in my last 39 years, that's what I learned the most, that kept me through adversity and going through risks, going through trials. And I know that's what makes me who I am today. That's
failing,
what failure.
Right? Yeah.
Makes me better who I am today.
You gotta suck fast.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
And pick back up,
some people fail and they don't learn the lessons.
Yeah.
And the universe has a weird way of sending these lessons to you.
Right.
And testing you, saying, hey, have you learned this lesson yet? Have you learned how to be grateful yet? If you haven't yet, okay, fine. We're going to start taking stuff away from you. Yeah. Next year, the universe come back and say, hey, have you learned to be grateful yet? If not yet, the cycle repeats itself. Yeah. And you have to learn that lesson before, not just that particular lesson, but certain lessons, because everyone has their own journey and battles. So you have to learn that lesson before you even level up, whatever that lesson is. Yeah. And you can't get to that next level without learning a particular skill set or lesson, and then you can level up.
And then also, you don't have to learn lessons from your own failure. You can learn it from other people's failure too.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't have to be like, oh shit, I have to experience this thing all by myself. Like, let's say Toby went through something and he tells me about it. If I'm smart enough, I will learn from his lessons, so I don't have to waste my time and repeat the lessons myself.
Like having sex on the beach, right? You
Make sure you got
sand
baby
everywhere.
powder. Make sure you put baby powder.
Baby powder, you have sand everywhere. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You have sand everywhere, so don't lick it.
No, you get stand on your balls, and it causes friction.
Baby powder, bro. Baby powder.
Yeah, I know, but we learn, right?
Yeah. This is the same way when you were kids. Like, you go and one of your friends did something, and they go, "Oh shit, don't do this," or "Oh, go do this. It feels good," or "It's fun." Then you're like, "Oh, I just learned from my friend." Or, dude, you can even learn from books.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, my mom always like, "Oh, you guys need to go study." We're like, "What did we study? We already did all the homework." She go, "Just go read a book," and I never understood that. Now, all these successful people, all they do is read books.
Yep.
Because they're trying to learn lessons from other people without having to go through it themselves.
Yeah. Stimulating their mind. I want to ask you guys, since you guys had kids before 40, what was that lesson like in life to have children?
We left it in.
Yep. It felt good. Leaving it in there always leaving in there.
Don't waste your...
Man, don't hit it
waste
the
your
face
seed.
then.
Huh?
Don't let her swallow it then.
I mean, you
Shit.
can if you want, but having kids, it's the result of feeling good.
You look at your son and your daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad me and your mom created you.
Right. I remember that feeling. I know when I see my son, back then we were kids, like, oh, my balls itch, right? And you scratch your friend's head, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I did. Oh, my balls itch, That's my son.
You were the mistake of November 14, 2012.
Right. It was the eighth dick. Like Kevin Hart said, right? It was the eighth dick. You were the eighth dick. But no, having kids is
No,
How old were you when you had your son, Toby?
man, this was what?
8,
20
9?
No,
10?
27, like late 20s. 27, 26?
So, yeah, that's about 2010.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah. When he was unexpected.
Yeah.
But I knew that the universe was kind of telling me to settle down.
Yeah.
Like I had to. We were partying too much. We were going out. We were traveling. We were just wild, And when we found out that my wife was pregnant, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Tell me, calm down now.
I said, "WTF? What the fuck?" Right?
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
"No way!" Right?
Yeah.
That's where the
This
accident
never
came from.
happened. And then I said, "You know what? The universe is telling us we need to slow down."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, fine." But knowing that I had to give up so much stuff, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I was not ready to do that.
Yeah.
And then I went into a spiral. I'm like, but once that my son came out, bro, everything changed. I would give up the world for that kid.
Yeah.
So it changes you and it makes you grow up, basically.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Charles?
I got my daughter when I was 30. So, fairly older.
So how old were you there? 2010, 11, 12?
30, bro.
Well, what's
13.
30 though? 2000 what?
13. Damn,
2013.
you're raising your voice at me.
No, I'm just saying.
Acting like I'm his kid.
Did you leave it in too?
Of course I did.
So you had it at 2013. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Now
10
he's
years
10.
ago. So for me, it was one of those, because after we got married, and I'm like, forget the birth control. If we have a baby, we have a baby. And as soon as she got off birth control, we had a baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like,
So
yeah.
it was planned?
It was not planned, but it was an accident that I was willing to accept.
It was planned.
So it was planned.
If you took out birth control, it was planned.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she went to Cambodia that, I forgot what year, but like in January or something. So I went, hey, go to Cambodia with your family. Just don't come back pregnant. She went to Cambodia for 2 weeks. She came back. Honey, I'm pregnant. I'm like, God damn it. Is this baby mine?
So she came back and she was pregnant already?
Yeah. She went pregnant.
She went pregnant.
She went pregnant.
Yeah.
Charles planned
gotcha.
it,
You
man.
planned it.
Come
You
on,
planned it.
dude.
You planned it, bro.
No, because when my daughter gets at me pissed off, I'm telling her she's an accident.
Emotional damage. Man.
Emotional damage.
Dang, dude. And then you had your son a couple years later?
2 or 3 years later, 2015.
Yeah.
So
Raising kids is hard, man, because you see it is one of the most difficult things that I have to do. Raising my son at each level, each age, each year that he turned, I thought that he was good.
Yeah.
But as soon as another year passed, new things I got to teach.
Happen, yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you were good now, you're doing good, this and that, and now he changed. Because I forget that, they're little humans too.
Yeah.
And they're evolving at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, man, I'm teaching on to you should know it already.
Yeah.
But I forget that, they're just kids.
They're kids. They're learning too.
Yeah, and they're learning, and they got to make that mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty hard on my son, and I know that because life, our reality does not value men unless they have value. And so I stress to my son, like, you need to learn skills. Doesn't matter what skills you have to learn skills. You have to acquire these skills, because once you turn 18, 19, 20, now you're competing with me, you're competing with your uncles, you're competing with the whole world.
For sure.
And that's something that I stress to him, and I make him do these things, and sometimes I see him struggle, and then it's like, damn, I don't want to see him struggle.
Yep.
But he has to. Now that's the most heartbreaking thing that you could do raising kids is watching them struggle. But you have to let him.
Let him struggle, yeah.
And it's super different for raising a girl and a boy, because my daughter and my son's completely different. Like, my daughter, she's been independent since she was like 2 or 3 years old. And then I forget that she's a girl and she's a little kid. And my son, he's been acting like a baby. He still acts like a baby. So, like, I end up treating them different on the way they react to things. So, and I got to keep reminding myself that my daughter is a girl and she needs more comfort. She needs more attention. And I can't treat her like a boy just because she's independent. And also, like, we got to remember that their peers have a lot of influence on the way they think.
Yeah.
And how they feel. Because I could tell my kids all day, forget how people think about you. Do what you feel like is right, and just do whatever you want. Like, forget what other people think.
Yeah, they're not ready for that yet.
But the kids, all they care about is what their friends think.
Yeah, peer.
Yeah, because they don't want to be outcast by their friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's time where my daughter will wear this big ass bow, and she come, Daddy, does this look pretty? I go, man, you look like an idiot. Take that shit off.
Damn.
Hard.
Hella hard,
Emotional
Charles.
damage,
What the
man.
hell?
Just keep it
I
straight.
want to be your kid. Damn.
Then what'd she do? She take that bow off?
No, she looks sad. I go, I know I'm being mean, but do you want to go to school and people make fun of you?
If I had a daughter, I would raise her differently than my son.
Yeah, for sure.
I would spoil my daughter. I probably wouldn't even spank her. I would give her a lot of things or more things than I would my son.
It's always like that, right? With the girl
Right.
and the boy.
Because
I see that often.
I want to let her know that you should be cherished.
You should be loved.
Yeah, you should be loved.
Yeah.
But my son, nah, bro, you need to work hard.
Hard.
Like,
You're the man.
it's different lessons.
Yeah, for sure,
You know what
for
I mean?
sure.
We grow up differently.
Yeah.
And you can't teach the same lessons to a girl versus a boy because it's two different worlds, two different perspectives.
Would you guys have kids again? Another child? If you guys had the opportunity?
Would
At
I
this
have
age?
kids?
At
If
this
it
age.
happens, it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, if
If
it
it happens,
it
it
happens.
happens.
Yeah.
But would I want one? No.
Yeah. You wouldn't want one?
I'm at an age where I'm like, I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to pay for the extra plane ticket.
Money.
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 When it comes to money,
Money. Charles thinks money first.
yeah, Charles think about money first. He don't want to spend
economically-
money on that dollar menu.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I
because,
think he wants to spend time with two of his kids too. Give them
That's
more
it.
attention, right?
Right.
well, yeah, because think about it. Like, if I have another baby right now, I'm have to give more attention to the baby. And when we do go places, my kids are gonna be so big of a gap that, like, I can't just go on do things like go to California Adventures with my daughter and my son because I have a baby, and then I have to take them to where it's more, I guess, toddler friendly, and it's just not fair for both sides.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think I want another kid, but if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, parenting and life lessons for parenting, teaching the things that we know to our kids, man, they're at different levels, and we forget that, they're still kids. They're not trying to be at peace with themselves. They're trying to fit in, or they're trying to have the coolest thing, and as parents we forget.
Yeah.
You know, and these lessons they need to learn. What are the lessons that you have that you learned, man? About with like family and stuff like that, with friends and stuff, you know.
Or what lesson have you learned from somebody else's mistake that you say, "Oh,
You know what?
I'm gonna do that."
You know what? I could, since Toby brought a family, like, I think it's important to know that we can apologize, right?
Yeah,
I think in my household it's too prideful sometimes.
Yeah.
I definitely learned that as I got older. Like, my family, we get mad at each other, we ain't talking to each other.
Wow, you guys hold grudges?
Hold grudges.
Yeah.
It ain't even. I don't even think it's grudges, Toby. It's more of, I'm hurt, and I ain't talking to you until whenever. We could be at events, and I won't even talk to you, like complete stranger. Yeah, my family's cold blooded that way.
Just like
man.
that?
Just like that, siblings, man. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned, and sooner or later, someone is like slowly trying to indirectly apologize, but they're not fully accepting it or saying it, you know. I think I've learned now that it's okay to say, look, I fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to hold a grudge, man, you know, and I'm doing a lot better with that. You know,
Nice.
Some of my other siblings, maybe not so, but to me, I have to show that, and for me, it's for my own peace.
Yeah.
Even with my friends or whoever else too, I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but shit, man, you know,
Yeah, because if something happened, right?
Right.
You can't ask for forgiveness.
It's the same thing you mentioned earlier.
You know what
about
I mean? Like
time.
Time, bro.
Forgiving,
it's important.
right? And bearing a hatchet to all these negative feelings when honestly you could just talk it over or just apologize and then everything will be okay. You know what I mean? And that's honesty that I've learned a lot. And I don't know, some Lao families or somebody may be going through the same thing with their family, or it could even be a cousin or
Friends,
anybody, man.
right?
Friends
Yeah.
too. Like, dude, like, man, just apologize and move forward. You know, like you don't mean it. Something happened at the time, man, and you own up to it. Are you doing better? Live up to it, and that's it. Move forward, man.
Well, yeah, because you got to be responsible for your own suffering, right?
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
if you don't, if they hurt you once, right? Okay, cool, forgive and let go. Don't let it happen again.
Right.
Because if you enable that action
Yep.
and they don't learn and you don't speak up, you're just a part. You're just as much to blame for your suffering.
Yep. Nothing wrong with apologizing.
Yeah,
guys.
nothing wrong with that.
Be the bigger person and don't feel like you're being dumb or people looking at you like, yeah, it's always your fault. You know, don't. If you own up to it, people see that. They see that heart. Like, man, you know what? He fucked up, but at least he apologized. You know what I mean?
Or if you wanna be petty and have revenge plotted, call me.
Yeah.
I'll be your
Call
accomplice.
Toby for that.
Watch the other podcast.
Yeah,
You'll understand
yeah.
it.
Charles,
You get through it.
What about you, Toby? Do you have a hard time apologizing or making up with your siblings?
For me, I kind of say, hey, this is the decision that you make. Whatever happened to me, I don't like to apologize. I'll be frank.
We know.
And it's hard for me to apologize, right? But when I say something, I come from a place of from a good place, right? I won't say it just to be one over you. I would say it because I know this is what's wrong. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't, but this is where it needs to be. And speaking like from my son's perspective, right? I try to teach him the same lesson that I would learn now, but I learned that people will only understand what you're trying to tell them at their level of consciousness.
Yeah.
So if they're not ready to hear that message, they're not going to get it. So I learned to kind of tone down how I speak. And when I speak, I kind of use like the bigger hammer. There's no little hammer with me. It's always the bigger hammer, right? Like I don't know how to be in the gray like you do. Like my mind's either it's all or it's nothing.
Yeah.
And so if I'm speaking or if I'm saying whatever lesson, like I'm telling him because it's my job to kind of lead, right?
Yeah.
And if I see a mistake, I'll say it. But I would not apologize for the way I say things.
Yeah.
I would apologize how I say it, but not for what I say.
Got it.
When you do that, does some of your siblings understand it?
Both of my all three of my siblings, the one that understands the most is my youngest brother. I think he's matured the most out of my other two. Yeah, he's actually matured a lot. He understands. He understands the dynamics of the reality.
Yeah.
The other two, they're kind of lost in their way still, and you kind of just have to be hands off. And then when they're ready to come, they're ready to come. You know, like you cannot hold their hand and say, well, what's that saying? You cannot lead a horse to water and expect it to drink it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like that.
You got 3 brothers, younger brothers?
I have 2 younger brother and 1 younger sister.
Oh, 1 younger sister. She's the youngest.
Yeah, my youngest brother, he's matured a lot out of all of them, and he's more aware. You know, of the reality that we were talking about, perception and perspective. He's more aware.
He's probably like the oldest too. He looks the oldest too.
Yeah, he's actually the youngest, but he looks the oldest.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the oldest, but I look the youngest.
Is it the one with the wife?
They all have wives.
Yeah,
They all have
yeah,
wife?
yeah.
Oh, okay. What about you, Charles?
Remember, brother, we don't argue like that.
Yeah, I
Like-
don't ever see y'all argue like that.
Like, I mean, we get on each other's nerves, and then we just kind of like don't talk to each other, and then pretend like shit never happens. But we never got to an argument where we really need to go, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, we said something that we didn't mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as sibling rivalry, like a lot of time, I guess because I'm the older and I kind of help raise them, they just don't say nothing back to me.
Yeah.
They probably don't like
So
what I
you
say.
have power over them.
Maybe, or just the respect that they give me, and I got lucky with that.
Man, I see Charles. What did he say last time? He eat and let the younger brother and the stuff clean up after him.
So you think you're the daddy?
Yeah.
Well, I played the role of the dad,
Yeah.
but then, like, you know, at the same time, like, I got lucky having 2 brothers that actually showed me some respect in that sense. And like this time where I can see they want to say shit to me, but then they don't. They just hold back.
Do you expect them to say stuff to you, or do you like it that they don't say stuff to you?
I don't expect them to say or hold anything back, but it's just the way we grew up. At the same time, like, there's some I want to say stuff to them, but then I'll hold back as well, just because like I know how like
They would
one
react
brother
to
would
it.
react.
Yeah.
They don't want to react a certain way,
Right.
And because I know them well enough to communicate with them in a certain way for the thing to get through to them.
Yeah.
So that's why we never really have this sibling argument rivalry.
It's funny, man, because I'm very protective of my family. Like if anybody was to say something wrong, or if they get hurt, or I get very protective, man. And people will see another side of me that they've never seen before, and I'm so protective of them, you know. And like I said, you know, revenge, man. Let me know if you guys need some help.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only fight I ever got into in my life was to protect my brother. Other than that, I mean, I'm pretty passive. And a lot of time, if somebody come attack me directly, I'll pretty much just let it slide. But when it comes against somebody I care about, then that's when I have to react.
Speaking of that, man, to add on to it, I learned in the 40 years that I've lived, I've learned that you have to have demon hands and Buddha's heart. So what that means is you have to be capable of violence. You have to be capable of doing what you need to do, but you have to be able to show mercy when the time warrants it.
Yep.
And your hands has to be able to do the deed that needs to be done. If it means taking a life, if it means doing things that you need to do for your family, like, you have to be able to execute.
For sure.
And I think I think that's the way.
Yeah.
You know, in
what was that
life.
saying? It's better to be a warrior in a farm than a farmer in a war.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's close, but it's a gardener.
Garner,
Yeah.
Somebody said it. Was it?
It's Mayato Musashi. I
Isn't
think so.
that
I
Jordan
think that's his
Peterson?
name. No. He's a samurai.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not Jordan Peterson. He's a samurai.
Well, I heard it from Jordan Peterson.
He probably said it too, huh?
Well, he probably
fixed it up.
quoted. He probably quoted from
Yeah.
Hayashi.
Jordan Peterson did say something interesting, because he did say that virtue, you have to be capable of violence in order to be virtuous.
Yes.
So if you are,
Makes sense.
yeah, if you are too nice and you are weak, you cannot be a good person.
Good person.
Yeah.
And a good person would never say that he is a good person, because he wouldn't know if he's a good person because he's doing the stuff that he needs to do. And I think that that's one thing that kind of stuck with me, and I kind of I live by. You know what I mean? Demon hand and Buddha's heart. So.
Wow. And also with Jordan Peterson, because I learned a lot of things from that guy. He says, you're not a good person because you're weak. You're a good person because you're capable of violence, but you don't act on it.
Yeah. Martial artists, they actually
teach that, right?
Teach discipline.
Teach that discipline.
Yeah, you have to be able to
control your anger.
To do it. Yeah.
You know, another life lesson I learned, man, and you guys probably agree with me, is health. That's what I learned. As I got older, I noticed my health changing tremendously, from my 20s into my 30s. And even right now, I may not be the healthiest guy, and I'm learning a lot from it, you know. And I think going into my 40, that's what I wanted to do. I've been preaching about it on that resolution card. I've been manifesting myself losing. Card? Remember, we took out one of the cards, talk about who would fantasize about their New Year resolution. It was me. I think I'm manifesting this right now, that I do have to lose like 40, 50 pounds to get back to healthy weight.
Wow.
And for folks that are watching this too, man, like, health is wealth, man. It's important, dude. Yep. Don't wait till the last minute. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be like me. Wait till last minute to get yourself healthy. Healthy is the long-term achievement, long-term habits that you have to get into. Whether you can learn how to eat correctly, healthier, but still enjoying it. There's nothing wrong with splurging or eating 3 Big Macs, 1 cent. It doesn't nothing wrong with that. But you got to have a place and time to do that, you know. And I think I'm learning it a little bit later, and that's something that I've been kind of taking for granted, and I'm learning that. So, don't what's that word? Don't neglect your health, because that's the crucial. And for us Asian men, even Lao men too, we really don't like to go to the doctor's office as much, you know. Even some of my peers, in the last, I want to say 2-3 years, man, I heard so many deaths in the Laotian community, or even the other community as well. Young people passing away. You know, either liver, kidney, all these other different health issues, man, that I don't even know how to even people get those things, right? But it made me think a little bit. Like, it scared me, because there's a couple deaths that were pretty close, you know, and I'm like, damn, dude, that could be me. Like, I got to figure this out, man. That's why I've been kind of on it, man. I've been doing a lot better, but I'm starting kind of late. But again, it's never too late to do it. But if I were to tell my 20 and 30-year-old self, start that consistency in health and workout and eating properly, so that you have longevity and you're good with your health issues, man. And, you know, and go to the doctor's office.
How did you know that health was what realization did you come to in order to come across that?
Man, I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I think one time after I ate, man, I started feeling like I needed to throw up.
Oh shit.
It was bad.
Did you eat the wrong taco? Or?
No, it wasn't even the wrong taco. It was any food.
Any food.
When I realized that I wanted to throw up every time I ate, that's when I knew it was bad. That's when I knew it was like, oh shit, dude, you fat as fuck, dude. You know, like, you need to get your shit together, man. You know, and then, of course, stepping on the scale, or when you notice that physically you can't handle a certain sport anymore, you're breathing pretty hard. Shit, playing basketball, almost breaking my knee, right? I'm not 18 no more. I can't even jump and hit the backboard. But that's when I noticed that, damn, man, like, you got to do something, right?
Why are you laughing at him right now?
No, I'm being real, dude. I'm disclosing this, man.
Like,
because people need to know that. Toby's trying to predict. He's trying to see me potassium the backboard.
He's imagining you trying to jump.
Exactly. And I'm falling right back. I'm not even getting that high, dude.
It's true, guys. Right when he said that, I imagine.
Oh, I can touch the backboard.
No, I imagine. What was that meme that we did? Like, I did that one thing where he was trying to ball, and then you came up and you slapped the ball. that just popped in my head.
Yeah. That's exactly when I noticed, dude. And I say this, man, from this example right here, man. Take care of your health, man. That's what I learned in the last 40 years. That is the most crucial and important, because if you could take care of your health, everything will come into pieces together. Your mind, your body, your spirit, everything. And you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still feel good about myself. I still think I'm the sexiest guy. But there's still other work that I have to do to take care of myself, right? So that's what I'm doing for my 40th birthday, man, guys. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Health is important, man.
Walking is good. Fighting is better. Fucking is best.
Words to live by. Words to live by.
And for Charles, eating and sweating is good. Because Charles eat a lot. He sweat a lot. I always figure out how the hell Charles gets so big when he sweats all the time. And when he eats, he should be losing weight too when he's eating.
Bro, the amount of food I eat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Game of Thrones fans would know who said that in the movie, who quoted that. So
Say the quote again. Say the quote again.
Walking is good. Fighting is better. Fucking is best.
Yeah.
Tyrion.
Huh?
Tyrion.
No.
No, not Tyrion Lannister?
No. You watch Game of Thrones? No. One more guess, Charles.
If it's not Tyrion
I'll give you
Lannister-
2 more. Yes.
Littlefinger.
No.
Damn, it's not Littlefinger? Who else will say that kind of shit?
I don't even know his name.
You don't know his name?
No, he was the leader of the people from the north. What is it?
Oh, the Wildlings.
The Wildling. He was the leader of the Wildlings.
Yeah, Thor.
Is it Thor? He looks like Thor.
Yeah, Thor. Thorn.
Thor? Yeah, he looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he said. I don't know why I remember these quotes. You know, I mean, these are just lessons. You know what I mean?
Anything with fuck in it.
Anyway, but you got me.
Hey, there's a lot of things that we do learn from movies.
Yeah.
And with Game of Thrones, you can learn a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it. Like, you read the book 48 Law of Power.
Yes.
And in Game of Thrones, there's a lot of different characters that use the power differently.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, like Tyrion Lannister, he used it a certain way, and then Cersei's, she have a different picture or vision or views of power, and then Littlefinger think that information is power, and what's his name? Ned Stark believes in loyalty and being direct.
Right.
And then there's a bunch of different things. So you go watch it and rewatch it, and then you'll learn a bunch of different ways to how to view people and how to interact with people.
I was just watching it for the titties.
That too. But there's more to it. Well, when my wife asked me why am I watching it for the 5th time, I can't keep saying, oh, it's the titties. It's for life lessons.
Fun fact. Did you know in The Wolf of Wall Street, that scene with Margot Robbie where she was spreading her leg and then Leonardo DiCaprio was crawling up to it, that was the most froze scene ever.
Wow. So
Yeah.
Really?
froze on that one.
Yeah, it froze.
The
Pause.
most
The most pause
pause
scene. Yeah.
How did they figure that out?
I have no clue, but I read it somewhere
Wow.
and I couldn't believe it.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I paused it too.
Everything, huh?
Yeah.
like, did Netflix have like a pause button? They just
Probably. Well, how do they know how many people watch NFL games, right?
That's true.
That's easier because of streaming. Like, you can see
streaming.
it.
Yeah, you can see
but
it.
then, like, how did they know when somebody paused it?
I don't know, but I paused it, so I'm part of that statistic.
I'm gonna have to go watch a movie and see if I paused it.
Well, of course you're gonna have to pause it. You're gonna pause it anyways.
You got pause it now.
Yeah,
you
you're gonna look
I
at
just
it.
want to
part of
fit
the
in.
statistic.
I just want to fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other life lessons you guys got?
Another one that's important, I think, is traveling.
Yeah.
Man, I've learned so much through traveling that nobody's taught me this in school. You know, and the people that I met, the journeys, the food, all that stuff is a lifelong lesson, man, that you get. So if anybody's in their 20s or 30s and even in the 40s, man, traveling is the best medicine, the best mental health coping skill, the therapy part of it, the self-care part of it. It's the best solution to all that, man. And I think it's important. I think everybody, if they have money, if they have time, maybe they don't even have money, but just going somewhere, just to go be with nature, go hiking, whatever, just getting out and traveling is important. You learn so much in all the areas that you go through, and don't take it for granted, man, because those are good memories and that's something that nobody could ever take away from you. Your memories and your experiences. Nobody could take that away
Except
from
for Alzheimer's, dementia.
I thought sex was the best de-stressor.
Sex and water.
Sex and water? That's what I thought.
It is for a short period of time because afterwards you're like,
because of dopamine, huh?
yeah, because afterwards you're like, I want another one, or maybe next week,
right.
maybe next week, or 2-3 days later. But traveling, man, it's the best experience, man. And I learned that when I was in the Navy, like that was the best experience of my life. I would do it again, man. And being 19, 20, 21, being a kid that never first time flying in a plane and never been out to explore those cultures and being intentional and seeing how people live in different worlds. Oh my God. It's freaking amazing, dude. Well, never got an opportunity to do that.
It all depends on who you're traveling with, too.
That's true. That's so true.
Because that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because if you're traveling with somebody that's like in the mindset, I'm going to go hiking.
Yeah.
And then the other person's like, no, I want to go partying,
go clubbing. Yeah.
Like, they're not going to have a good time together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or this is another person that...
Well, different interests, right?
Yeah.
Different interests. And that's fine. I think just being in a different scenery is already a learning experience in itself. You're being in an environment that you're not used to here in America.
Right.
When I went to Japan, the first thing I noticed was everybody was Asian.
You sure?
Shit, culture shock to me. No, right when I got to the airport.
Well, I mean, you're in Japan, bro.
I
so
know.
Bro,
what were you
That's
expecting?
kind of like a given, right?
Well, here in America, we have a pretty diverse
culture shock.
community.
Go Japan, dude. There are Japanese over here.
No, I literally said that. I literally got off the plane when I boarded and when
Think
I got
about
into
what
my
you
thing-
just said, though. You going to Japan?
No, I get it, but I've never been to a country where there's mostly Asian people.
That's like going to Thailand. Oh wow, there's a bunch of Thai people here.
No, think about this. You
joke-
grew up in a
The
community.
joke went over his head.
No, you grew up in a community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you went to school with black, Hispanic, all different races. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Trust me, that's all I knew. When I got to Japan, I stood there for 5 minutes and looked around like, oh shit, everybody's fucking Asian in here, dude. I don't see one color person. You know what I mean? And I'm Asian too.
You are the color person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
You're
Asian
a minority.
Yeah.
I was culture shocked. It was like, oh shit, everybody look like me, dude. That's crazy.
No, they don't look like you, bro. They're lighter than you.
They're lighter than me. They're looking at me like, damn, this motherfucker dark as hell. But that's what I noticed, right? Like,
But you're taller. You were taller, though,
Oh, I
right?
was way taller.
Yeah.
I was more thicker too. You know, I wasn't skinny like them. But even their haircut, their clothing style was different than mine's. How proper they were. Like I'm not used to that. You know, over here we're all kind of a little bit hood. You know,
Yeah, we
speaking
hood over here.
gibberish, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't get that over there. So to me, it was culture shock completely. And even though I'm Asian American, it's still culture shock to me when I've been there. It was my first time traveling outside the country, man. You know, so that was a great experience, man. I've never, you know, in every other country I've been to, you know, it was been a blessing, man. I learned so much, dude. So yeah, traveling.
See, I haven't crossed the ocean yet. Have you?
What do you mean you have crossed the ocean?
For like different country. Like
You
I've been
haven't-
to.
Yeah, I
you
left
haven't
a different
been to
country.
Asia?
No,
You
I haven't.
never left the country?
I went to Mexico. That's why I said I haven't crossed the ocean.
Oh, damn.
You been to Canada?
No,
Never been to Canada either?
nope,
You haven't been to Asia? Been back to Asia?
nope. The closest
what
to
you're
Asia
saying
was Hawaii.
So what you're saying is we need to take a trip back to the motherland.
Yeah, I
You
need
need
to
to
get
do some
culture
more
shock.
traveling.
I need to
Yeah.
go get culture shock.
You do.
Yeah, because I want to
You
go
ain't gonna
see.
be culture shocked because when you go back to Laos, the aunties and uncles over there can be like, ma kin khao da.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they're gonna be like, "Oh, I got a daughter. You want to take her back to?"
For that
America?"
too.
That
Yeah,
too.
that too.
There'd be that too.
You're gonna be the most handsomest guy there.
Oh yeah, dude. When I go there, they can be like, "That guy have food."
He's happy.
Yeah, he's happy.
He's happy.
I tell people, man, if you save money for the whole year, you pick a country each year to go to. That should be a goal. Everybody should go to experience a new country each year. Save up, put that money in that bank account or piggy bank. Tell yourself, all right, we're going to whatever country this year. We're going to save up for it. That's actually not a bad goal.
Since you've been to a lot of country,
Yeah,
what country should I go visit first when I cross the ocean?
Colombia.
man.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
Too soon. Too soon. I don't think y'all ready for that one.
Oh, you're not ready for Colombia?
I
No,
think-
you should go back to the motherland. You know what I mean?
to experience.
Yeah.
For me, and I don't know
Man, I would do
what type
Thailand. I don't know
of.
about Laos.
Yeah, I
No,
think
Thailand.
Thailand would be a good choice for you, Charles. Only because maybe you have a family. everything's a little bit different, more modern, I would say. Laos is still developing, but they're still there too.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. And it depends what type of activities you want to do.
But more natural is Laos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Laos is more natural. Thailand is more modernized, where you're almost like in America.
Yeah.
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 But definitely, man, to kind of add on to Lucky's point, traveling will actually open up
Yes.
your perspective
Yes.
into how people live around the world, not just in America.
Yeah.
Because when you're in America, you kind of have tunnel vision
Yes.
and how things should be.
Yep.
And, you know, we're spoiled over here. We have so much stuff that we are entitled to,
Yeah.
or we feel entitled to, right? But when you go to somewhere else and you have to live in a hotel that's not 5-star, 3-star, whatever it is, or, you know, you use a toilet that's not modern, you know, you appreciate life. And the people outside of the U.S. is half and half. Some of them don't like us, people, and some of them do love us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, like, because you could still get culture shock just going to other states alone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
dude,
different environment everywhere you go,
bro,
you know.
just going to Mendota, I was culture shock.
What? Why?
Because, like, I went to the restroom. They have a big old box of toilet paper that's used. They throw in the box. They don't flush it. Because I guess where they came from, like, the plumbing system is not as good, so they don't flush the toilet paper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I walked in there, like, this is disgusting. Why are they doing this? But that's just the way they're
This was at a
accustomed
gas
to-
station?
A liquor store, yeah.
A liquor
yeah.
store? Oh.
Yeah, when I was delivering chips. So, like, and even going to, like, I guess, like, what would it be a state where it's more like Alabama, Louisiana? It's completely different from California, where it's not as diverse. So I was culture shocked when I went to New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did that in Mexico visiting Lupe's family. We had to wipe and put our wipe in a bag.
Yeah.
And that shit was probably the most disgusting thing I ever did, right? Because I'm like, man, can I just throw this shit in there? No, you can't do that. Throw it in the bag. Larry, you have to bring it off, dude. You're sitting on the toilet and you just wipe.
Yeah.
My natural instinct is to throw that shit down, right?
Yeah.
Nah. You got to figure out it don't hit your leg or your ass, right? You have to take a shower after you do that.
Yeah.
Because this thing, no point in putting your underwear back on. You got to get in the shower to clean yourself up, you know what I mean? And then you go from there, dude.
Right.
Or else your ass is stinky.
And the laws of the United States does not apply to other countries.
Yeah.
You know, so when you do go to other countries, be mindful of that, because I see a lot of Americans go to different countries and think they have rights.
Yeah.
Think that they could do whatever they want to do, and they can't. And they find out it's a hard lesson, you know. So when you travel, just be mindful of that and be respectful of the culture. A lot of people, they're very proud of their culture. And they're proud of the fact that, you know, they're indigenous and they're traditional, and a lot of people value that.
Yeah. Honestly, the majority of the group that do that are white folks, man.
Yeah.
And I've traveled many countries, dude. And I can say,
Yep.
not saying all white people,
Yeah.
but majority of them act a fool in these countries, dude.
I think it's Americans now. It's
Americans?
not just
Oh,
white
yeah.
people
Oh,
anymore. It's the
yeah.
people that's born here,
Yep.
that don't know
Yeah.
any other country that would go. I mean, you have Asian folks that go to different countries, and they're American, and they don't understand the culture, and they grew up American, so they act American, you know.
Like,
So
what was that girl's name? She's a basketball player that went.
Brittany Griner.
Brittany
Yes.
Griner, yeah. We talked
And-
about her.
yeah.
And Russia says that you can't have cartridge, you can't
Right.
have any legal substance,
Yeah.
anything, not even a vape. What'd she do? She had the cartridges
Right.
of the vapes.
I
And she
think-
said, when she got arrested, she said she wasn't read her Miranda rights. And it's like, dude, Miranda rights doesn't
supposed
exist
exist.
over there.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
you
no
cannot,
Miranda,
you
right?
cannot
you know,
say that. Yeah.
Under the you're under arrest. You have
Yeah.
right to remain silent. You don't work over there, dude. And this is why I say, man, a lot of people comment on that. What you mentioned, Toby, because like us Americans, they don't think about crap like that,
No.
man. And they go to other country. What do you think is going to happen?
Yep.
She lucky. President bailed her out on that
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Because
That was
he-
the worst trade
Yep.
ever.
Oh,
Worst
yeah,
trade.
Yeah.
worst trade ever too.
And that's an example of learning from other people's mistake.
Right.
Don't go to other country and bring whatever the hell you want to bring.
I've seen a video on Instagram Reel. There was this American that went over the Canadian border. He got pulled over. and he was recording and he was saying all this stuff, and he was like, hey, you cannot pull me over without probable cause. What did I get pulled over for? I need a sergeant. I need this and that. Like, I don't need to identify myself. But in Canada, you do.
You do, yeah.
You're not in America. You're in Canada. So the laws in America does not apply over there.
Yep.
And so, when people do that stuff, I feel like, dang, man, you guys need to get educated on these things and be aware, be mindful.
They feel entitled, man.
Yeah.
Entitlement is real, dude.
But I think, like, circling back around to what you're saying, traveling is very good to open up your mind to the possibilities of evolving, right? And
it's it's kind of almost like a first-hand experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not going to get this experience on a book, reading it, not in school, right? People, teachers tell us about different country. The only way you're going to experience it is if you actually go. And then you get to see it yourself, right?
Yep.
And you get the facts straight down. Like, man, we read books sometimes. I read books sometimes, but like, man, I don't think that's true. I've been there,
Yeah.
But I experienced myself, like, I know the difference, So it's kind of like a first-hand experience, and then you learn from that. You put that in your head. You
your
still in your
perception
head.
change.
Perception change. And you are more open to different things in society. And your judgment is more accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your judgment could be all wrong. Reading books, never been there, right? I hear it many times. Mexico is the most dangerous country and everything. Right? I've been to Mexico every freaking year, and nothing really happened to me.
Yeah.
Is it a
They
people's
love us over there.
perception? Yeah. It's like, well, I've been there many times.
It also depends on you not acting the fool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Am I
can't-
the one causing trouble over there? No, man. I'm
Yeah.
being myself. I'm eating good. I'm traveling. I'm playing on at this different excursions. So, to me, I didn't see none of that.
Yeah.
But I had to go experience firsthand in order for me to make that guess, that conjuncture. Like,
Well, you're going over there not looking for trouble,
that
too.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not hanging out at the wrong place,
Yep.
or you're not going out to the barrios, right?
Causing trouble.
and causing trouble and
Getting
looking
drunk,
for drugs,
raping girls over
Or,
there.
yeah, you're not going
Looking
there
at
causing
somebody
trouble.
else's girls.
Yeah, doing
Right,
that
right,
too,
right.
right?
Yeah.
And my life experience on that firsthand was like, it's great. I even been to the smallest towns where a cartel were hanging out. They never really messed with me. I never did anything wrong, and I wasn't scared or anything. But if things would have popped up, I was been like, oh shit, now I guess I get to experience this. You know what I mean? But I never, and that's one thing I learned too, Toby and Charles. 'Cause like people would tell me their perception of certain countries. I would just shake my head and say, okay, well, I've never been there. Until I experience myself, then I could give you my guess, or I could give you what I've experienced. You know what I mean? Because your experience is probably different than mine. So
Well, it depends on your perception, right?
yeah.
If their perception is going down there looking for trouble,
Yep.
they're gonna find trouble.
Sure.
Of course, their experience is gonna differ, right? Because they're not going out there just to relax, have fun, or doing the things that normal vacationer people would do. They're going there looking for wives, or they're going there trying to, stir up trouble, cause this and that, thinking they have power, thinking they have the authority to do whatever they want to do down there, just because they have
We're
money.
American.
We're American and we have money.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like, dude, that's not right.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
What?
We're talking about life learning, right? Lessons. Save money or spend money before your 40s?
Depends.
It's both.
Yeah. Depending on what you're spending
Both.
it on.
Why you say both? Why you guys say both?
I say both because you need to have money for rainy days. But also understand, the more you acquire, you cannot take that with you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When you leave this earth, all the material stuff you have acquired, the money, the houses, the
Gucci
relationship, the Gucci Bucci,
Gotta go.
you can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you.
Yep.
No, that and the first part of our life we acquire. The second part of our life, we try to buy all that stuff back, our
Spend.
health or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. I'm trying to be relaxed, and I think you need to have a balance. Of course, in the beginning, you could do it. You live fast, you're gonna pay fast.
Yeah.
So, but I think you need both.
What about you,
Yeah.
Charles?
Same thing. You should have a little bit of safety net. But at the same time, I believe in spending the money on experiences,
Yeah.
not on material things. It's because if you
Man,
buy
he
material...
full of shit, bro.
No, I do. I do believe in it.
He went
Okay.
to Hawaii
Go ahead. Tell the story.
And did not want to pay for skydiving, right? And I said, okay, I'll go with you. I'll pay your fat. I'll pay for your fat boy tax.
Yeah.
And he finally said, yeah, money, right? Money.
Look at Charles, man.
Hey. To be fair, I give myself a reason not to do it too. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
Back to what you're saying.
So I believe in spending money on experience where if like I'm early 20s, late 20s, we spent a lot of money going out to the clubs, wasting money on alcohol.
Yeah.
I probably spend maybe $200 in a night, but then at the same time, I won't buy a $200 bottle to come and just have it at my house by myself.
Yeah.
Because the experience of hanging out with my friends and the vibe and all that stuff was worth it to me. But buying a $200 XO to come sit by myself, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So depending on how I spend my money and who I spend my money with, that's
important. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also gotta have a little bit of money saved.
Reserves.
I mean, if you're making $600 a week, you should have at least 2 weeks of reserve saved up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you guys, man. It's a balance, right? And I've met some friends who are not spenders at all. Mm-hmm. And the experience part, they never get that.
Yeah.
So I asked them like, well, what's the point of saving money if you're not
Right.
going to use it?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, and
Exactly.
And to each his own. Like, you want to save $1 million before you're 40? Go for it. That's your goal, right? But to me, I'm like, damn, I'm losing years.
Yep.
Where's my youth at? Years that, okay, you got $1 million. Congratulations by you hit 40. But you lost almost 10, 12 years of your youth that you could have been experiencing.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right? Let's say you acquire $1 million
Yeah.
and something happened to your legs.
Yes.
You cannot go hiking anymore.
Yeah.
You cannot go traveling. You can, but it's gonna be more difficult, right? You should have done it when you had the chance.
Yep.
And I forgot what book I read, but in the book, the biggest regret that people have on their deathbed was traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling and not spending time with their loved ones.
The Apple guy said that. Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs said that. Yeah. Steve Jobs said that.
Wow,
the
Steve Jobs
deathbed.
is smart.
Yeah,
What
he
did
said
say?
that.
What did he say?
He said, forgive.
Yeah?
Always
He said that?
forgive people. Travel. And spend the most time with family before you die.
So for me,
People are important to you.
bringing it back to the Hawaii skydiving thing.
Oh, you
my
hit the nerve,
God,
Tony.
okay.
It
You
did.
hit a nerve, man.
No.
He's been thinking about it ever since. What's
He like,
going on,
Since
Charles?
the
Like,
minute,
fuck
since
Toby, I'm gonna go show him.
Since the moment Toby said it, I was just thinking like, is it really true that I didn't want to spend the $20 extra, whatever? It's because when I went,
He thought about it and he came up with an excuse.
Yes, and it's a good one. It's a good one. Hey, are you guys ready for it?
Yeah,
are you guys
I'm
ready
ready.
for
I'm
it?
sitting down. I'm
Am I
ready.
gonna get interrupted again?
I don't know.
All right, okay, so because when I went and I wanted to do skydiving, nobody else that went with me wanted to do with me, so I would have to experience that on my own. But Toby said he's gonna pay for me. That means he's gonna go skydiving with me.
Yeah.
I have somebody to share the experience with.
I look at it like this.
Yeah.
If you want to experience it, go do it.
Yeah.
Even if it's on your own.
Yep.
I
I do
think
that
Because
that's-
you
too.
know why? If you got to wait on your peers, they
Be
may
waiting
not
forever.
be in line with you. And that's what I learned, even 40, up to 40, right? Can't wait on my friends sometimes.
Well, but the thing is, I want to experience it with somebody else, not by myself.
So then how come you didn't offer to pay for Toby?
I will pay for Toby.
That's all,
As long as-
I'm saying, right?
As long as he paid for my fat boy tax.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's cool.
If
You
you
can pay
wanted
for
the
me. I'll pay for
experience,
Fat Boy Time.
you could have asked Toby.
I'll pay for his full.
I think that me and Soki's in a different perspective because, like, if I want to go do something, I'll go do it. I don't wait for
Exactly.
nobody
That's it.
because I've in my past I have waited for people and I don't get nothing done. People don't go with me or people have excuses, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? If I want to go eat lunch or have fun somewhere by myself, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm going to
Oh,
go.
there's
gonna wait
certain
for
things
nobody.
that I'll do it by myself.
Right.
There's certain things that I want to share with somebody so I can have somebody to talk to about.
Now, here's where I'm different than you, Charles. If
There's
I
a
wanna
lot of
experience-
places that we're different.
If I want to experience this with my friends, I will be the one inviting him. And
Yeah.
I'll be the one paying. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Vegas, do the helicopter pig shooting, whatever. You want to come with me? It's the same thing with the UFC VIP, right? I invited Pi. He's like, dude, I don't got no money for that. I'm like, dude, I'll take you. I invited you, right? I'll pay for that. Don't worry about it. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
We went. We had a great time. My experience with my best friend. He wanted to experience. He never been to a UFC fight.
We're not his best friend.
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna say that right now.
Well, I'm just saying.
We're not his
Like,
best
I'm
friend.
dead in the heart.
We
No,
weren't
of course.
invited to the
Yeah,
UFC.
Of course, we're gonna
VIP.
get.
Man, we out of here, Charles.
Yeah, dude. You know what?
We are now in session's gonna get invited. We definitely go. But that's
By who?
that is
yeah,
that
by
is me.
who?
That is me, right? That is me. So I do that. You know, I say, hey man, if my experience means the world to my friends, and I will do it. I'll invite my friends to do it. You know what I mean? I'll take the initiative to do it. But if I gotta do it by myself, hey, even better. Like this trip I'm going to. Nobody else invited me. Nobody invited me to go to this thing. This Thailand trip that I'm going to. Thailand.
I thought you were going with your girl.
No, just me and Lupe.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
I could have said,
And he's gonna meet people there, but he's not going with them. He's meeting them there.
well, they happen to be
I
there,
see.
and we're gonna
yeah.
do
FOMO.
a one day thing. But check this out.
Keep
If I was to wait, right, for another couple or two couples, I ain't waiting, dude. Because I got to that point by hit 40 that I told myself I'm not waiting for you guys, man. If I gotta go, I gotta go, dude. I don't care. Even if it's me and my wife, we're gone. You know what I mean? Because I waited like Toby many times. I'm frustrated. You know me. I'm very punctual. If I say I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna go.
And he needs to know before Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if you tell me, here's another thing. If you tell me you can't make it one time, I'm pissed off. You ain't never getting
no
invite
invite
me.
again. Yep.
You ain't never get invite from me again, dude. Because
You had your chance.
because if I took my time, precious time, to give you my attention for 30 minutes and say, hey, we're gonna plan this together, and you just own it and you don't show up or you don't even tell me ahead of time, I'm never inviting you.
Oh, so I
again,
can
dude.
say I can't make it ahead of time, right?
But yeah, you gotta tell me ahead of time.
Yeah, like when you say, "Hey, you want to go to
Like,
this?"
But don't tell me the last day.
No,
it's
no,
like
okay, I got you.
It's like you can't RSVP and then
Exactly.
not show up.
Not show up.
Exactly. And the day of
So-
event, where Charles at? Where
Come
Charles?
on, guys.
Oh no, I'm not
You guys
inviting
have
him
it
that next time.
backwards.
No, but you got to understand, Charles always double or triple book.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Oh my God.
You got to know that about Charles.
But he better tell me 3 days before the event, not the same day.
Promise, always before Sunday.
Oh,
always
my
before
God,
Sunday.
dude.
This is so funny, man.
Yeah.
Life
Well,
lesson,
see?
man.
Travel, life experience. Man, we talked about a lot of things, dude.
Yeah.
Family,
know what?
time.
You see the way we just bantering back and forth. Find your friends that you can banter with,
Yes.
and somebody that will walk out and come back in.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know,
Yes.
and we're all making fun of each other, you know, and the reality is like we all understand each other, and that's
Yes.
and that's the cool part about it, you know. And I think each person in this room has a unique life experience that we all can share and be honest about. you
Well,
know?
everyone's life
Yeah.
is unique. No
Yeah.
one's ever the same. When you are born, the heavens are already said, the cosmos, right? It's already a picture
Yeah.
that you are meant to walk whatever path
Yeah.
it is you're supposed to
Yeah.
walk. No one can walk it. It's very unique to you and yours alone.
Yep.
Yep.
And once you understand that, and life will be much easier. You know that your own suffering is yours alone, and only you could deal with that. You could take different perspective, but you gotta ultimately fight your own battles.
If I had a 20-year-old self back, and these three guys had a podcast, and I was 20 years old, I honestly would pick a couple information that they're sharing today, because I think it's helpful. And a lot of times, I didn't have an older brother,
Yeah, none of us
and
did.
I don't think I had someone a mentor in that way to tell me things like this. I would hear it through the grapevine,
Right.
but I would never have somebody sit down and listen for an hour to share that with me, man. I
Right,
never did.
right.
Think about it. Did you guys have somebody?
Nope.
You know, I mean, besides the dads like sharing their thoughts, you know, and the metaphors about certain things is a little different.
I think our generation is a little bit different. I think our generation is the connecting point for the older generation
And younger.
and the younger generation.
generations, yep.
We
Yes.
we have the sole duty of connecting our past and present and future together
sure.
to give them a better outlook, right? To give them a better path, you know. And I think that's our job. Our generation,
We're first gen.
We're first
Yeah.
gen.
We're
I
first
think
gen,
that's our
man.
job.
That's why.
You know,
And our culture, we're not that great
Yeah.
with communication.
no.
No, like I mean, how often do you hear people say, "My parents don't know how to say I love you." The way they say I love you is by saying, "Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Right.
Have you ate yet?"
Yeah.
They
You have
can't
to
say-
decode it.
Yeah, you have to decode it.
more of your needs.
Yep.
More of satisfying your needs. You need a haircut. You have any clothes you want, right? You have all your underwear. We're gonna go wash your clothes this weekend. Like the needs for you is love to them.
Yeah, right? I did all of this for you.
Yes.
And I'm only hitting you because I love you. Mm-hmm. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah. It does.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Charles bringing it out. Yes.
Let it out.
I like that.
Well, let's finish up, guys.
Yep. Last words.
An hour and 20 minutes in, man. Of these life lessons. It's actually pretty
cool.
long
Pretty
about
long.
talking about all these lessons, man. And I think that we have a lot of good perspective on different scenarios and experiences that we could share with the audience and you guys. And I hope that whoever is listening or watching this, you could pick whichever one works for you at your stage or level that you're at and go from there. So who wants to start off first? You, Lucky, go ahead.
The last words?
Last words, yeah.
Man, my last words is, man, like, enjoy life, have a balance, learn from people who have experienced it already. It's important. You're going to make mistakes, but it's okay. It's okay to come back to it, right? That's how you get better. You fight through adversity. Health, travel, family time. Don't hold grudges. Those will take you really, really far. You know what I mean? And work hard for what you want, and you'll get to the top where you want to be in life. That's my lesson.
Let me attempt this one.
Man, Charles, next time,
one.
Toby, you just tell Charles go first.
Yes.
Right?
Let me
Because
attempt this one,
now
bro.
he's going to pick a little bit.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That's how he does it. That's how he does it. Yeah.
No, this has nothing to do with
What's your last thoughts, Charles?
This life is like food. Wait for it. So I remember when I was a kid, I used to eat like pho. I eat all the noodle because I love the meatball.
Yeah.
And I would save that for last. And what the adults do, they go, "Oh, you don't like the meatball?" They'll eat it. So with life, don't wait to enjoy it and to the end because somebody might take it away from you.
Oh,
I like this analogy.
Yes.
Clap for Charles.
You like it?
Wow, I
Yeah,
like it.
boy.
I thought he was gonna say, "Don't eat the balls first.
Of course.
Save the balls for last." I thought that's where you're going with that. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty good.
You know why he said this, Toby? Because he was the one eating the meatball last from other people's plate, from his brother's plates.
Yeah,
No,
that's why.
I did not do that. Hey, I leave them for the cleaning shit, but we always share whatever we have.
I honestly thought you would have, like, in my mind, like,
Hey, wait, this shock right now on what I just dropped.
No, I'm just shocked because I'm like, oh, he said save the balls for last. So I'm like, you know what? You're right, Charles.
Oh, man.
Man, as for me, though, man, I think the middle path, like Buddha said, right? There's no upper path. There's no lower path. The correct path is the middle path. Mm-hmm. And the path in life is demon hands and Buddha's heart. I'm going to echo it again because that is the secret, right? You have to be capable of doing these things that you don't want to do, but sometimes have to do. And you have to show mercy when it warrants mercy. So, live with a good heart, treat everyone with respect and show love to everyone, but when you have to do the things you need to do, you need to be capable. So find it in your heart to handle your business.
Yep.
But other than that, that's it for us, guys.
Don't forget to
Thank
like,
you.
comment, subscribe, share, leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about it. And we'd love to hear your take on it,
We
too.
love you guys.
All right?
And whatever lessons, you guys want to shout out to us or, we could pass on to all the other viewers and audience, let us know. We could pass it on through your experience. We would love to hear it, okay?
Yep. All right,
See you guys.